Hello and welcome to another story. Today we're going to read Roxaboxen by Alice Mclerran. Mary Ann called it Roxaboxen. She always knew the names of everything. There across the road it looked like any rocky hill, nothing but sand and rocks and some old wooden boxes, cactus and greasewood and thorny ocotillo, but it was a special place. The street between Roxaboxen and the house curved like a river, so Mary Ann named it the River Road. After that you had to ford a river to reach Roxaboxen. Of course all of Mary Ann's sisters came. Anna May and Frances and little Jean, Charles from next door, even though he was 12. Oh, and Eleanor, naturally, and Jamie with his brother Paul. Later on there were others, but these were the first. Well, not really the first. Roxaboxen had always been there and must have belonged to others long before. Mary Ann dug up a tin box filled with round black pebbles. When Mary Ann dug up a tin box filled with round black pebbles, everyone knew what it was. It was buried treasure. Those pebbles were money from Roxaboxen. You could still find others like them if you look hard enough. So some days became treasure hunting days, with everyone trying to find some special kind. And then on other days, you just might find one without even looking. A town of Roxaboxen began to grow, traced lines in stone. Main Street first, edged with the white ones, and then the houses. Charles made his one of the biggest stones. After all, he was the oldest. At first the houses were very plain, but soon they all began to add more rooms. The old wooden boxes could be shelves or tables or anything you wanted. You could find pieces of pottery for dishes. The round pieces were the best. Later on there was a town hall. Mary Ann was the mayor, of course. That's just the way she was. Nobody minded. After a while they added other streets. Frances moved to one of them and built herself a new house outlined in the desert glass. Bits of amber, amethyst, and sea green. A house of jewels. And because everybody had plenty of money, there were plenty of shops. Jean helped Anna May in the bakery, pies and cakes and bread baked warm in the sun. There were two ice cream parlors. Was Paul's ice cream the best or Eleanor's? Everyone kept trying them both. In Roxbottom you can eat all the ice cream you want. Everybody had a car. All you needed was something round for a steering wheel. Of course, if you break the speed limit, you had to go to jail. Jail had cactus on the floor to make it uncomfortable, and Jamie was the policeman. Anna May, quiet little Anna May, was always speeding. You'd think she'd like going to jail. But if you had a horse, you could go as fast as the wind. There were no speed limit for horses, and you didn't have to stay on the road. All you needed for a horse was a stick and some kind of bridle, and you could gallop anywhere. Sometimes there were wars. Once there was a great war, boys against girls. Charles and Marion were the generals. The girls had Fort Irene, and they were all Girl Scouts. The boys had a fort at the other end of Roxaboxen, and they were all bandits. Oh, the raids were fierce, loud with whooping and the stamping of horses. The whirling of swords of Ocotillo had sharpened thorns, but when you reached your fort, you were safe. Roxaboxen had a cemetery in case anyone died. But the only grave in it was for a dead lizard. Each year, when the cactus bloomed, they decorated the grave with flowers. Sometimes in winter, when everybody was at school and the weather was bad, no one went to Roxaboxen at all, not for weeks and weeks. But it didn't matter. Roxaboxen was always waiting. Roxaben was always there. And spring came, and the ocatilla blossomed, and everybody sucked the honey from the flowers, and everybody built new homes, and everybody decided to have jeweled windows. That summer, there were three new houses on the east slope, and two new shops on Main Street. And so it went. The seasons changed, and years went by. Roxaben was always there. The years went by and the seasons changed until at last the friends had grown tall, and one by one they moved away to other houses, to other towns. So you might think that that was the end of Roxaben, but oh no. Because none of them ever forgot Roxaben. Not even, no one let them ever forget. Years later, Marianne's children listened to the stories of that place and fell asleep dreaming dreams of Roxaben. Gray-haired Charles picked up a black pebble on the beach and stood holding it, remembering Roxaben. More than 50 years later, Frances went back to Roxaben, and Roxaben was still there. She could see the white stones bordering Main Street, and where she had built her house, the desert glass still glowed, amethyst, amber, and sea green. And that was Roxaben. Thank you so much for listening.